Passage number 154. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, almost immediately after the new government took office, the Foreign Affairs Minister made a categorical statement saying that India's foreign policy would be governed by its continuity. It was not necessary for him to say so. He could have also very easily said, in the words of the American president, "It is a new world that calls for a new foreign policy." Yet the Foreign Affairs Minister was at pains to emphasize that we shall continue the policy, and also when he spoke in the other house while presenting the budget, he paid a tribute to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the architect of India's foreign policy and those who preceded Mr. Vajpayee in office. I would say that in the humility that he has shown and the sincerity that he has demonstrated, he has won respect not only of the people of India but also of his friends and colleagues abroad. It is this openness and he has introduced in the foreign policy which was present when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the foreign minister, which has given confidence both to our neighbors and our distant friends that India will speak with one voice. Therefore, I was somewhat surprised with my friend Honorable Dr. Dutt, who expressed some kind of doubt about the continuity of our foreign policy. He saw some kind of a sinister move that we were moving away from the continuity. Sir, I would say that no sinister move was necessary to move away from a policy followed by a previous government. It would have been fully justifiable for the government to say that they were departing from certain aspects of the policy of the previous government. Dr. Dutt also paid me a compliment for having had something to do with the implementation of the policies of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and I deem it an honor that I have played a small part in trying to realize the kind of cooperation that he had envisaged in the world. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, Dr. Dutt has also placed me in great difficulty. He asked me to say whether we were following the same policies that were being followed by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and I would not be honest to this house and to myself if I said that we were following the same policy in respect of the nuances that my honorable friend tried to introduce. The distortions came not when the Janta government took over but 2 years ago, and I would mention a small illustration. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, one of the basic aspects of the principle of non alignment was non interference in the internal affairs. Interference has two aspects: interference in the internal affairs of other countries and not permitting other countries to interfere in the internal affairs of our country. As the Honorable Member Professor Dutt would recall, about 2 years ago, we started seeking international support for our internal policies. We tried to advertise the gains of emergency and to seek support for that emergency. Would this not amount to interfere in our internal affairs? It is this distortion, Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, which I hope the Janta government will correct. The Honorable Member also talked about the policy of non alignment. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, non alignment cannot be a policy. It is merely a set of principles that guide the policy. The foreign policy of India as enunciated by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was world peace and international cooperation. World peace and international cooperation are essential for us because we are developing country. We have got a large number of people living on the margin of human existence. We have to promote their welfare. This cannot be done in an atmosphere of conflict. It cannot be done when there is a war in the world. It can only be done by international cooperation. Sir, if you look at India's traditional policy, India's traditional attitude towards foreign affairs, and India has an ancient civilization, these have not come to us overnight since our independence. They have a long history in our tradition, in our background. And if you look at these, you see that India has stood always for human understanding, for absorption of ideas that have come from different parts of the world, for their synthesis, for evolving a consensus, and for working with people of different races, different religious backgrounds, and different beliefs. And this is the essence of India's foreign policy that we want to develop not in conflict but in cooperation. The developing countries having achieved their independence from the economic colonialism would not like to fall again under economic colonialism. They would wish to give content to their independence, and that content can come only when they acquire economic self reliance. I am not talking even of some kind of economic self sufficiency. Thank you.